Fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. This is a fight that I was looking at, Shane Mosley versus Miguel Cotto, that happened November 11, 2007, right? And it's a very interesting fight. I'm just showing you some highlights courtesy of Jeff Jackson. Shout out to Jeff Jackson for showing the highlights of the fight. And these are some round by round highlights. And you know, it's very amazing how the commentary team, they talk about the fight. As you can see, that Shane Mosley landing a body shot, a nasty left hook to the body, also a right hook to the head. I thought it was very interesting how this fight transpired, so I want to talk a little bit to you guys about it. Now, you guys can always go watch the highlights and also go watch the fight itself. But it was said that Miguel Cotto, he, was the commentary is very biased towards Miguel Cotto. All right, in the early parts of the fight, Miguel Cotto was walking down Shane Mosley. Don't get me wrong. And Shane Mosley eventually had to back off from Miguel Cotto. I think it was somewhere around round 7. He backed off, started boxing Miguel Cotto. And somewhere around round 9, Shane Mosley took back over the fight, and he started walking down Miguel Cotto. And that went on for the remaining rounds to the end of the fight. Now, I feel like Glenn Fieldman had a better bead on the fight. 113, 115 sounded more like it for Cotto. Cotto did box well. His jab was very effective. And whenever he threw his right, he caught Mosley a lot of the times. Because Mosley wouldn't adjust distance. He wouldn't respect distance. So you get hit with the shot. Having said that, Mosley was very effective with his right hook off of his jab. And, I listened to some commenters like Emmanuel Stewart, and I just don't understand. Emmanuel Stewart said Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't box because he doesn't have a good jab. And he also said the same thing for Shane Mosley, which is not true. Shane Mosley has a very good jab, but he uses his solid jab. There are different kinds of jabs, ladies and gentlemen. And Shane Mosley, he will use a probing jab, so he will throw 1, 2, 3 probing jabs, one after the other, and then he gives you a nice stiff jab. So I'm amazed that a guy like Emmanuel Stewart couldn't understand that. Mosley is a very good jabber. He's a very good boxer. Emmanuel Stewart says he's not a good boxer because he doesn't have a good jab, and that's not true at all. And for Mayweather has all kinds of different kinds of jabs. So when Emmanuel Stewart started talking about Mayweather, he's not a good boxer because he doesn't typically jab, because Mayweather uses other tools besides jabbing, which are feints and foot movement. So I didn't understand it, but it is what it is. So they dubbed Shane Mosley a fighter versus Miguel Cotto, and Miguel Cotto is a better boxer than Shane Mosley, which I disagree with. Mosley was very effective with his jab when he used it like a jab, and also he was very effective with his right hook and his right uppercut on Miguel Cotto. Something that maybe Floyd Mayweather saw, maybe the film of Shane Mosley versus Miguel Cotto, and took it and used it, using instead a left uppercut instead of a right uppercut, and he used the right hook on Miguel Cotto, which landed almost every time. Now, having said that, I am not saying Miguel Cotto didn't win that fight. All I'm saying is it was a closer fight than the judges Win Kintz and Peter Trematera had it. Okay? I don't even know who those guys are. Actually, Peter Trematera had it for Cotto. It was a close fight for him as well. The guy who didn't have it, or the lady who didn't have it close, was Win Kintz. And I don't know how she got 113, 116. I really can't tell you. It's just whatever. But at the end of the day, I thought that because the fight was in Madison Square Gardens in New York, Miguel Cotto got the benefit of the doubt, winning by unanimous decision. But I do believe if they had the fight elsewhere, I think this fight would have been a draw, or it may have been a fight in which Mosley got the edge, depending on where you have the fight. Clearly, Shane Mosley found something in round 9, and that's why the nature of the fight changed, and Miguel Cotto was on his back foot. Miguel Cotto is very rarely on his back foot. The only time he was on his back foot was against Antonio Margarito and in spots against Manny Pacquiao. Miguel Cotto is a guy who likes to impose his will on you. And something happened in round 9 to make Miguel Cotto not impose his will, and I'll tell you what it was. Shane Mosley started going to body shots. He started exclusively going to Miguel Cotto's body. Miguel Cotto didn't like that and started to move on the back foot. That's why. But go ahead and watch the fight. I think a lot of people always have these popular opinions of fights. I did one with Wilfredo Benitez versus Carabao, but the guy who won the super welterweight crown from Wilfredo Benitez. He'll come to my mind soon enough. He fought Roberto Duran. Duran knocked him out. And the point behind this is this. You guys sometimes judge things based on what the commentary teams say. And you guys take for granted a lot of things, especially in boxing, And sometimes you need to go see things for yourself and form your own opinion. Now I'm showing you this fight with the sound off. You see Cotto being very effective, but then you see Mosley catch him with a left hook and then a right hook, and then a left uppercut to his body. Do you see that? And I'm just showing you it a little slowed down. You see there Cotto throwing a combination, Mosley catching 2 of the punches and then getting hit in the head. Cotto throwing his jab, catches him with a jab there. Look at Mosley again. Cotto blocked hook by Cotto. Cotto catching him with a jab. Mosley catching him with his jab. So to say that Mosley didn't have a jab or he wasn't effective with his jab, there's that beautiful right hook again by Cotto. Chopping right hook. Oh, look at all these shots. Uppercuts and hooks with the left hand. Nice little hook to the body and a hook to the head. Mosley hits him with a body punch. Cotto's doing very good work here in round 8. Cotto tries to catch him up, catches him over the top, and a right hook over the top and a left hook to finish it off. Alright, so I'm just saying that when you look at these things, you have to pay attention to what's really, really going on. Okay? Cotto blocked that right hook. Mosley hits him with a nice sharp hook, and then he rolls under. Beautiful stuff. Good boxing. And then he gets caught with a straight right and a left. Okay? So I'm saying that in boxing, you guys need to go actually watch it. You don't have to watch this in slow motion, by the way. Okay? Well, it was a very exciting fight. And my point anyway is nothing is exactly what it seems like. Alright? And this was a close fight. In fact, the early rounds, the commenters even said it was a close fight and they didn't know who the judges would give in those early rounds. So I'm just saying. So don't always believe the narrative that these commentators are saying in fights. You guys have a great one.